made a mistake, and now it's all bad. You could put the blame on me, but baby, can we run it back? You've been running through my mind, and you're still in my dream. Baby girl, life without you just ain't as good as it seems. If you Cause there's one thing that we know, people changing, roses grow. Oh, take my hand, take these roses, no, I'll never leave you lonely. Have my heart.
Hello everyone and welcome to the 25-26 Ireland Esports Collegiate Series National Finals. We are here live at the Red Bull Live stage here at GamerFest in the RDS in Dublin. Today we are going to have 2 games to play out between 4 titles this weekend. We're going to have some VALORANT, some League of Legends, some Rocket League, and some Counter-Strike 2 to see who is the best, the All-Ireland National Champions. I am Kurt with you, and we are proudly sponsored by our energy drink sponsor of Red Bull here, and they will be fueling every single one of our clutch moments here as we bring our fantastic championship forward. And straight to the games here, we are going to be having our VALORANT National Finals here between UCD and DCU. Exactly. 2 teams, 1 trophy, and up to 3 maps between them to see how we're going to go about it. But that's enough from me. I will throw it to our casters over in Number and Horatius to take us through the games.
Thank you very much, Kurt. And what a game we have today for our LAN finals on the Red Bull Live stage. I am Number, joined by Horatius. Horatius, how are you feeling ahead of today?
I'm ecstatic. I mean, we've seen both these teams so much, but not quite in this environment with a live crowd in front of us as well. So, I mean, I'm excited to see how they handle the pressure, especially here. Very excited.
Yeah, definitely. For a lot of these players, it's their first LAN event, and so looking into the crowd, looking at family, friends, other university members, I mean, this is a heck of a draw, a heck of a lot of pressure coming onto these players, but this is where diamonds are made, where the pressure finally makes them into something special, and you will all get to see that here live in just a short moment. But we will need to head, first of all, into our map vetoes. So what map vetoes do we have today? We'll find out in just a second when we get the graphic up. As I've been told there's a graphic. Just need to make sure that is the case.
I mean, it's going to be interesting maps. I've already seen them, and like 2 of them are quite unusual maps coming in for Ireland Collegiate here. So it's going to be nice to see a Lotus to start out, a Haven, and then a Pearl, which I don't think we've seen much of Lotus or Pearl. So quite exciting to see both of those maps here.
Yeah, I've been fed false information. There isn't a graphic. I just made that up. My bad. But you know, as you mentioned, Pearls and Lotus, not really 2 maps that we've seen. And you know, I was speaking to some of the players beforehand, especially on the DCU side, and they said, "Look, Fracture is one of our strong maps. It's going to be, you know, something that we want to play, get in for it." And then UCD just banned it in their first map pick. They understood the assignment.
It was a hard read, honestly. I think they read them to a T perfectly. Getting rid of that fracture is really nice, especially if they were banking so much on it from their practice. So really nice read. But I think that the nice thing here is that we get to see some maps that we haven't really seen much of before. Of course, the map 3 is Pearl, so we might not get to that, but hopefully we get a little map 3 banger here and we can see a nice match. But I'm super excited to see what we can get out from these 2 maps that we don't see much of, and then Haven is just a standard. So I'm expecting to see the usual there, but it's always a nice map, Haven, because there's so much thinking, there's so many different possibilities that you can come out with. So really just some exciting maps coming out from both these teams here. So really nice.
Yeah, Haven, as much of a staple in the Ireland Esports Collegiate Series. as much as both these teams being in grand finals. I mean, in winter, we had this match exactly for both our Open and our Premier winter tournaments, and DCU weren't great, didn't do great, lost both of them, but they made up for it in this spring tournament where they were finally able to bring a trophy back with them as they beat UCD. I believe it was 2-0 or 2-0.
Yeah.
It was indeed in the final. Retribution for some and for players like Drill, who we've seen a lot of in these finals, but hasn't been able to grab that trophy, but finally now has something to his name. But now, LAN finals, the biggest stage of all. Who will be stronger? But before we get into that, I just want to say a big thank you again to our sponsor. Red Bull has been a partner of the Collegiate Series since September 2025 and is the energy drink behind so many of these clutch plays and big moments here on the Island Esports Collegiate Series. But for those who may not have watched the streams as much, there's a little segment me and Horatius like to do, and it is our favourite. Well, my favourite anyway, because I love to see you squirm. It's our predictions time. What are you going for?
I mean, look, I banked against them last time. I thought that it was going to be UCD, and I thought that UCD was going to win, but I think that DCU showed off such a strong showing in the last finals of last semester that it's kind of hard not to bank with them, especially coming in with the same roster here. It was a brutal grand finals, a 2-0 victory, and that second map didn't look close at all. So it is hard for me to not say that DCU probably have the edge here. But once again, it's up for grabs. Like, this is a very different environment for both teams. They haven't played again in front of a live audience in a LAN tournament, so it's interesting to see how it will play out. But I think I'm going to give it to DCU.
No. I mean, I think in this scenario, you have to look at some of these players, and you have to look at the clutch players like CMD for UCD, and also players like Casper for DCU, such high peak players. And it's definitely going to be an interesting battle of the duelists. But I think when you look at the two teams, who is made better for an event like LAN, you know, I think I have to give it to UCD here, because I look at their team and I look at some of the names, and from what we've seen for the past year, and I just see so much quality, and there's so many times that UCD have not only dominated games with these, but have also been under pressure by big opponents like DCU, and they have held strong. So I'm going to say that it's going to be a UCD win here today. But as we just get ready a bit longer for the players to be ready, hopefully won't be too long, fingers crossed, but this is the Island Esports Collegiate Series. There have been a few tech pauses before, but I mean, I talked about it briefly with CMD and Casper, but who are the players that you're looking for?
I mean, it's fairly obvious that I'm going to point out CMD and Casper. Both of them are the star duelist players for both of the rosters. And when they show up in style. They drop 30s on the regular in the matches that I've watched them play in. So I have very high expectations for them coming into this. But just another thing that you didn't mention that we haven't harped on too much here is that this is a trilogy. This is winner takes it all, because they've played two times before already in the finals. Both won a title, and this is the third match here. So this is going to be a definite showing of which team is better here, considering the fact that these are pretty much the same rosters the whole way through, except for maybe some changes from Sem 1 to Sem 2. So this must mean a lot to the players, especially for the final match of this trilogy to be also in a LAN event. Like, I mean, I'm going to keep mentioning it, but that is so important, and it clearly will mean a lot, and it probably will affect their mental a little bit here. So once I've kept mentioning it, but I'm excited to see how it looks for them and how it feels, and if it affects their play, because if CMD or Casper don't show up, I mean, that's going to affect their team in droves. That, like, they are so pivotal to winning rounds for their teams.
Yeah, no, I fully agree, but we will be heading into Lotus GamerFest. Make some noise as we go into our VALORANT LAN final between UCD and DCU, as UCD going to start off on the attack side, and some fairly standard picks so far. Drill looking in that fade, as well as Sly in the IGL of UCD. It's definitely, I mean, with some of the hovers here, I mean, the Killjoy being selected as well by DCU. I mean, is there anything really that's grabbing your attention so far? I mean, Toru's hovering the Raze.
Toru over the Reyna is definitely a big, interesting question mark here. I think they did run this the last time, though, in the finals. I'm pretty sure this must be a set comp for UCD, because if I remember correctly, in the grand finals last sem, Toru was on that Reyna, and it didn't really work out for them too much. They did kind of get walked over, but if they've been working on it and they're still confident in this pick, then I wouldn't be too surprised. Oh, never mind, he swapped it. And most of DCU have actually already picked their comp here, and that's the entire comp locked in, and very standard comp. We have the Raze, we have the Jet, the Killjoy, the Omen, the Fade. That is complete standard comp from them, so nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah, indeed. But we mentioned just before the game started, it's a place to watch, and it's a player that I've harped on a lot about is Elizabeth on the Killjoy, the clutch queen of Ireland, as I so called her in that last semi-final. The woman to take UCD to the finals in a 1-versus-3 clutch, and by God, did she excel. It's definitely someone to watch out for, especially this game on the Sentinel role. But fairly standard comps for Lotus. Casper and Toru going to be on that Raze.
I mean, exact same comps from both teams here. And the thing that I'm a bit surprised by is CMD not being on that Raze, because from what I understood is that CMD's, one of his comfort picks is that Raze. So it's interesting to see it swap up, because usually, especially on the bind, from what we've seen, it was the Casper v CMD Raze. So that's an interesting swap up with having Toru on the Raze instead. But both characters, both Jet and Raze, can get so much value in their own ways. So it's going to be interesting to see how Casper and CMD navigate the non-mirror matchup for both of them. So this is nice and easy. And to start off, it looks like we're looking at a fairly standard hold here from the defender side of DCU, with that Killjoy turret on B, and never mind, it looks like they're 4-stacking B. This might be a counter strat for UCD, because it seems like a very hard read straight off the bat here. But
or it could be a tech pause.
Oh no,
and this is what we've got, although no, it's going to be a tech pause.
Oh my God.
Just while we have some microphone issues. I mean, it's if you watch Valorant Champions Tour, it's the MEA. This happens all the time in the top division. It happens down here as well. And as a fact of life, there's 3 things guaranteed with this region: death, taxes, and Europe having a lot of tech pauses when it comes to Valorant. It just is what it is. But whilst we get ready to go, we will just share a few facts about IECS, because this has been a phenomenal year for IECS. 1,070 students competing this season in both our Premier and our Open Division this year. I mean, that's an incredible amount. And those 1,000 students coming from 15 different universities and colleges across the island in 2025 and 2026 this season, as we head in for our 8th consecutive season. I mean, this has been going since 2017. This has been, you're a former player yourself for the Valorant.
Yeah.
You've been a part of this history. You even won the Open Division during winter. Yeah. You were the one that beat Drill.
Yeah, I was one of the people who devastated Drill in the finals, unfortunately. But I think that built him up into a stronger player, as we saw from him in the last finals. But I mean, this was also the first showing of Premier Division. This year was the first showing of Premier Division in the IECS scene. That's a fairly new concept of splitting it up from Prem and Open Division. And I think it's been a really good change that they've done. It's been a lot more competitive for the Premier players. And I think it drives them to play better, knowing that the competition is really level, and there isn't teams that will struggle to compete at the same level as them, and just gives them some easier points in those group stages and maybe even playoffs. So I think the Prem Division change in IECS has been a really good way to promote the competitiveness of these players. And we've seen it in both finals this year, that they've just been absolutely amazing. And even if it seemed like a bit of a stomp towards some of the maps, as a whole, the finals have just felt more competitive, and even the playoffs in general have just felt nicer and more natural. So really good. I think that was probably one of the best changes that IECS could have done.
Yeah, definitely. So we have so many video game titles across this. We have a 4 Premier Division: Valorant, Counter-Strike 2, Rocket League, and League of Legends. But across the Open Division, we have 10, as I get the list in front of me, because there is a lot. Teamfight Tactics, EAFC, F1, Overwatch 2, Rainbow Six Siege, and Marvel Rivals all are part of our Open Division, as well as, of course, the 4 games that I did just mention: Valorant, Rocket League, Counter-Strike 2, and League of Legends. See, my memory's not going yet. 21, memory's not going just yet.
Still have it
But
there.
yeah, just about. I'm slowly becoming more Unk because you know, as the days go by, I'm realizing that I'm just more Unk. You know, so it's not fun. Don't grow
Yeah.
up, kids. That's what we need to say. Don't grow up, and we'll be fine. But you know, I mean, not only has IECS been good for these players across all these divisions, it's also been good for the universities. I mean, DCU have put so much money this season into esports hardware. They've got proper esports computers. They've got a place on campus where these players come together. They'll play the esports. They'll play for DCU. I mean, the real money being thrown into this, and as well, it's not only just the Republic of Ireland; it's Northern Ireland as well. UB and Ulster also have been competing in IECS, not in Valorant this time, but they did in our winter split. But actually, Ulster's did. UB dropped out, but they still have teams across elsewhere. But I mean, this is huge, and as well, I want to give a big shout out. Well, we want to give a few big shout outs. First of all, to Ronan Monoghan, who was just appointed the Ireland team manager for the Esports Nations Cup. So, a very big congratulations to him. But also, I want to give a shout out to our amazing producers behind the curtain, if you dare say, because they've been phenomenal across all of our games. So I want to give a shout out to Nova, to Heltic, to Cloavect, all those, to Akiza as well. All those people, from at least from our point of view, have been instrumental to running the Valorant part of IECS, and we can do without them.
No, I mean, like the behind the scenes work is always the most important part of an esports scene in general. I mean, like, obviously the tech pauses isn't the best place to show our admiration for them, but I mean, they have kept this scene running, and without them it would be a lot harder to be able to showcase these matches. So nothing but thanks to them, and congratulations for what they've done this entire semester and the semester before. So just gratefulness from us. And yeah, we're just still waiting for a bit of a tech pause here, but I think it will be soon.
Yeah,
anyway, hopefully.
Grab your seats if you haven't already. Grab yourself some Red Bull from some of the Red Bull vendors across GamerFest today. Also, I just want to say a big thank you to GamerFest for allowing us to use the stage and have this setting here at GamerFest in front of all you people in the crowd and walking about joining us today on the first day of GamerFest. And we do have, I believe it's League of Legends later as well.
Yep.
And tomorrow, for the second day of GamerFest, right here, we will also have Rocket League and Counter-Strike 2. But I believe we are just a few moments away from getting our tech pause sorted. But whilst we just make sure that we are getting the players all ready and doing all that, I mean, this as well, I mean, we got to remember, as much as these guys are pro players, they're also students. You know, they're taking their university courses, they're taking their college courses. I mean, to fill that in a week is incredible. To not only go to your lectures, do all your work, but then to play, to go to any scrims that you may have, to go to practice. You know, I mean, this is a big ask.
Yeah, and I think we're going into a 2-minute break here, just to give our players a little bit of time to breathe.
Yeah, just to make sure we get our tech pause resolved. So we'll go into a 2-minute break, but just stay tuned. Remember to grab some Red Bull, grab some stuff, and we'll be back after a short while.
We are back.
We're back. 2 minutes, more like 2 seconds, as the round will begin, and we have the start of our Valorant Grand Finals. As I mean, Slush is already making a big impact, finds 2 kills into Toru and Hefty, and suddenly DCU taking the lead. Certified Turtle goes to half HP, but it doesn't matter. 2 players from the UCD side already been found, and now they're just scrambling to try and get any amount of control anywhere else.
I mean, yeah, it's a bit of a slow round. The mound control coming in from UCD didn't really work out for them too much as Slush was ready on that mound and some shots exchanged by Elizabeth here on Rubble. And they're just slowly taking up the space here, UCD, but I think the DCU has started to read this as the rotation is coming over from Omen here, and B is pretty much 2 people in that dugout. It's going to be a bit hard for UCD to break through here, and it looks like they're pivoting back to that B main for a little bit of a B split. But once again, these 2 people in dugout, it's going to be so hard to deal with. The eye goes through, spots them out here, but they did manage to break it in time, and the execute is going to start coming through. Door open here, and Slush is ready at door, though. Is he going to be ready for that? Another third for Slush, and Casper also caught Slime. Little right click coming in from Elizabeth here, catching Slush on mound. She gets the gun, the ghost as well. This is going to be really difficult to get through. 1v4, door open, and she is finally caught. Too difficult of a round to come back from for Elizabeth there.
Yeah, it was those 2 early kills into man that really set the pace in motion for DCU there. Big play from Slush, getting those 2 picks on mound, and then, I mean, UCD don't really have any other option of what to do because, you know, they tried the B split, they tried to look towards A, but wherever they go, it's just they're jam-packed with opposition.
Yeah, I mean, very difficult with Slush being so ready on that mound, and also the patience coming in from DCU of not rotating too fast. It was too difficult of a round to break through.
And look at this, under control on A gathered as the rest of UCD just going to head away, but Slush with the Outlaw going to get that first pick onto Elizabeth, and now all of that Killjoy util is down. There could easily be a flank that comes around, as now we are looking towards B site, and Slush with 2 more with the Outlaw. CMD finds 1 onto Casper. There's a bit of danger there, but Slush is looking for an ace on LAN. A 4K for the Jet, and this is being baited for Slush. 2 rounds into the LAN, and has already found himself an ace.
I mean, what a strong start, especially on Jet, which is a character that you want to have confidence in running out here. 8 kills on the board already to start off. So very nice start for Slush, but it was the eco for UCD. This is a very important round now for them. With this bye, if they struggle to get through here, it's going to get very difficult for them to work this game. Now, we do have to talk that the bonus coming in for DCU is actually quite strong here since they didn't lose a single player. And
Lost 1.
Did they? Oh, they lost 1. Okay, they lost 1. So it isn't as strong as it could be, but UCD need to find an answer for this mound space that is being held and maintained by Slush.
Now it's fairly standard. As DCU just take that A space, and it's going to be Slush on C, and there is going to be an Armada running towards him, and it doesn't matter because Slush finds the headshot to FD, and already things aren't turning out too well for UCD. More shots fired into the smoke, but nothing of value gained as Sankara takes up this box position with the Phantom, and this is still a fairly strong bonus for DCU. They still have a lot of rifles, and obviously, as you mentioned, losing only 1 player really is a big hand in this 3rd round.
Yeah, and Slush did actually get the tag onto Slime through the smoke, so this is going to be a little bit more difficult for them. And the exit, there it is, 1 kill count, 2. Sanglo getting 2 off of that box spot. Really nice bombs down as well, and Slush is watching the cross. Flash going through, Elizabeth walks in, manages to get the bomb and get past Slush, but this is very difficult. CMD manages to find Slush. That is the side anchor gone. The rest of the players are going to have to walk in. Spam coming through. CMD gets 2, and he's looking for the ace as well. It's going to be an ace trade for both players here. Elizabeth steals it off, but really well played from UCD, breaking back into a round that looked fairly lost there.
Yeah, Elizabeth is an ace steal. On LAN as well. I can't believe it. But no, very well played from UCD there, but still, there's a lot of bloodshed from UCD. Only 2 members surviving, only 2 rifles going to be brought into this round 4. Whereas for the side of DCU, they're going to be fully stacked. It's going to be an Armada. And I mean, look at that. Slush 9 and 2. What a start from the Jet.
I mean, this is what you want from your duelist player. You want them to come out strong like this. And we have an op in play as well. This is just going to make Mount even harder to break through. And it looks like it's going to be a bit of an A rubble fight coming in for both teams.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be brawl. Solidified Turtle goes up! The Paranoia is good and finds 2. Toru with the Stinger does trade out, but not before the damage is done. Slush as well, the operator finds Elizabeth, and all of a sudden, UCD are scrambling to try and find some answers. There's only 2 remaining in A main, Hefty and Toru, and Slush is just walking up. There's absolutely no respect given to UCD, although misses that first op shot, and Hefty is ready for the re-swing. Now this starts to become a bit dangerous. 1 more kill, and all of a sudden, these teams are on equal terms, but it's actually just going to be a leaving of this A site, or at least that's what they're trying to sell.
I mean, that kill onto Slush opens up the map so much and gives some question marks to DCU on where the UCD players could be going. And like the hold that they had on A was so strong with the 3 players, but Slush going down has made them go and split up all over the map to just not get cut off by lurks. So this has opened up UCD for so many options here, and it looks like they might just be doing a slow walk up A, but Drill's just holding the cross and the player from stairs as well. Beautifully played from DCU, even though they lost some control of the map with the Slush kill there.
Yeah, I mean, it worked well to start off with cut noise, but they just took too much time. They weren't hitting A as fast as they should, and it allowed the rotates to come back in for DCU, but now UCD on the safe. I mean, this isn't going too well. Slime still yet to find a first kill.
Yeah, I mean, if we're looking at like what's going well here, like we can just see that the ults on both teams are fairly even across the board, but losing that op was definitely not the best thing for Slush. Now he's going to pop knives so he can save for the next round and get that op, and it seems like a fairly standard default from UCD here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what damage can be done. As the door isn't broken, there's no movement towards the B site. As Elizabeth is just trying to send Slush away, and she does just that. But meanwhile, the rest of UCD are in tree. They're going to be leaving quite quickly. And actually, I think the call has been made to leave A entirely. Maybe go towards C, where Slush has been picked off. Or maybe not picked off, sorry, but been moved away. Been relocated, I think we can say. But it's actually, yeah, I think they're just going to leave and try and hit towards the C side. But the problem is, you've got Slush, and Slush is on a heater so far this game. Really doing well. But CMD, I mean, this is crucial. This is such a big ultimate to have. And I mean, it's the only way onto the C side, especially considering DCU have overstacked towards the A site as the Haunt comes in. Some of the Killjoy U2 has been shot down. Slush actually popped the knives as well, just to try and keep away, as Hefty will be doing a scouting mission. As this is going to be a big fight for CMD to win, and he does so. Pushes into CT now, trying to find a second. Only gets a bit of damage with the Drill. Can they find a kill to Casper? He does. They get a third? No, he can't do that, but Drill trades out. But meanwhile, DCU are coming back in. Solidified Turtle on Sanglo, finding kills as well. And now, this looked so good for UCD, and now it's turning sour. Elizabeth and Hefty have to do his job, and it's a good start from Hefty. Finds that kill to Sanglo, but now has to do it all, and can't even find the second. The Certified Turtle gets the defuse, and DCU extend their advantage.
I mean, that was a complete toss-up at so many different points there for both teams. That first frag that was gotten by CMD onto a second as well. I mean, really nice kills from CMD, but DCU just found the stabilization so well, and they punished the overextension of all those UCD players. So really well played from them, but it was a save round for UCD, so that's probably as good as it could have gotten. They did get 3 kills, got the bomb down as well. Now they have the guns in play, some ults coming up as well. Toru almost has a showstopper, while DCU only has his the Omen ult, so a little bit of an ult advantage coming in now.
Yeah, and also something else saw there, Slime has the Odin as well, something else they're known for is Slush. Just cannot get the dash away. Toru, there's a 3 kills after the plate, but it's traded out. Elizabeth is the first one dead again. Showstopper, body block though. Double satchels aren't that good, but Toru's still getting a bit of damage done, but only a little bit. On to Sanglo. I don't even know if that actually hit. I'm not sure, but Slime has the Odin. It's going to spam through a little bit more damage onto Sanglo as DCU now need to retake, and it's a good start. Casper finds one, but Hefty trades out. Slime is just going to spam through the box and finds Casper. And now for DCU, there's only 2 members remaining. And I mean, UCD have got a forward positions, especially when Hefty finds 3 in a round like that.
I mean, what a nice entry from DCU there, or UCD there. And just, I'm going to point this out, but Slime is known for his Odin, and even if he's not fragging that hard, most of the time the Odin is just such a pressure tool that if you know that there's an Odin on the site, it's just going to be hard to break through that. So a very big gun buy there for him. And now it seems to have turned a little bit here. Although DCU are up 4 rounds, they now have to save. So this isn't looking the best. If they let this snowball it from UCD, then they could be in a bit of trouble in this Lotus map now.
Yeah, that was Slime's first kill, by the way. Just with the Odin, you know. Odin Meta is fun. Odin Meta is fun. I'm sure Casper had a lot of fun going to that, but we'll focus on the round. Slash finds 1, make it a second. Fantastic shot, Casper with a showstopper. Has just stopped any chance of UCD winning this round, and as Hefty goes huge. It's the second he has to ace, and it's so much to ask from Hefty, and has to reload. And Certified Turtle with the Guardian. I mean, this was a save round. That didn't really feel like a save round. 5-2 lead now for DCU.
I mean, Slush is just such a problem for UCD here. He gets himself embedded on these extreme angles and just holds them down like his life is on the line. So really well played from him again. And now it's flipped. UCD now have to save. Although they have 3 ults up, they're not going to be able to capitalize off those properly because they don't have the guns to do so. So really nicely played from DCU. And we are seeing an outlaw buy as well to try mitigate that no armor side on UCD here. So that's a nice little smart buy from DCU.
Yeah, they should go so hard, and they're already CMD. It's the one rifle, the one sniper down on Marshall in the hands as Hefty will stay. Slash actually finds a second with the Outlaw. As Drill has the Odin now, and how the tables have turned. It's only Elizabeth. I mean, if she can get killed, then that's probably the most she can do here, but anything else would be a bonus.
I mean, it's just too much. 1 kill, though. And she did manage to find Sanglo, so that's a kill, but no orb gain from it because she already had her ult. So, I mean, good for credits, I guess. That's the only thing that we can really say. Those are some very smart outlaw buys from both of Casper and Slush there. Really holds down sites, and once you know there's an outlaw and you don't have armor, you just can't go there anymore. Now, this is a full buy round for both teams. A lot of ults on the board here. We have Elizabeth's lockdown and Slime's ult here. So those are 2 big ults coming in for UCD, which they can use to break into sites if they really want to. And it's looking like they're going to go towards C a little harder here. Will they be able to push out Slush with the operator, though, is the question here.
Yeah, I mean, Slash has gone and done so much today, and Prowler forces him away from the position. The operator has been noticed. Hefty just should try to TP into sight, but Sanglo's going to force them away. But meanwhile, Nightfall used, but it doesn't really matter. Slush with the operator. He is going to get traded out by Slime, though. And Sanglo still on the site, a lurking menace, and has the opportunity to find so much, but instead, UCD is just going to pump the brakes, wait for something, as DCU going to be heading into these advanced positions. Look at where Certified Turtle is on B. They can reach to open the door. Hefty's TP'd in, and Sanko's now under a lot of pressure, but Certified Turtle, perfect timing, but will only find 1 onto Slime. And Sanko's still fighting for his life. I mean, this is a lot. Nightfall used by Drill now. Lockdown now used by Elizabeth. His trades everywhere. Sanko finds 1 traded out by Hefty. And now this lockdown will allow UCD to get onto the site, but Drill still has this Odin. I mean, this is a big gun advantage for Drill here, especially when he's using it like that onto Elizabeth, and it's just spams that keep Hefty in place, and Casper's just there to get the trade. I mean, a lead guaranteed at the half for DCU. I mean, what a strong Lotus this has been so far.
Very strong, and this defense coming in from DCU is looking so nice, and it looks like they're taking so many opportunities to catch UCD off guard. That door open from Certified Turtle, the ultimates coming through, and the Odin retake as well. Very bad round for UCD to lose, especially considering that they invested 3 ultimates into that. So not really what you'd want, especially considering that this is now a make or break round for your eco. And if you lose it, the lead is just completely in DCU's favor here. So this is a very important round for UCD, and DCU has 2 ults to play with still. They have the lockdown, and they have from the shadows. This is really nicely played from DCU.
There's pressure on to C, trying to force what they think is Slash away from the site, but in reality, Certified Turtle has a huge paranoia, and CMD's already dashed into site. This is a weird buy. If they lose this, this is disastrous for UCD. So they've got themselves onto site. Raisner is going to force them away from the post plant, and CMD is going to take a lot of damage from it as well. Maybe not a lot of damage, but a little bit of damage. A little damage, some might say. But DCU are going to be forced into a post plant now as UCD. I was going to hold this, and Slime just gets spotted out by the Prowler, but can't make the judge work as Certified Turtle finds still to CMD and Slime. And already this post plant is being knocked away, but the timing is bad for Certified Turtle, and now it's Elizabeth that just has to stand by herself. And it's Sanglo with a 3k to bust open the site.
I mean, some of these rounds are looking so close, but if you're looking at the scoreboard here, it is 8-2. DCU is running away with this defense side on a map that you could say could be attacker sided at times. So this is not what you want at all for UCD. And they're looking so strong coming into this, honestly. This is a really nice look for DCU. UCD now have no economy. They do have Showstopper on the board, but this is not looking good at all. They have only one buy for the last round, which is next. So really nicely played from DCU. Still haven't used both of the ults that they have in their disposal as well, so they can use those this round or the next to secure a lead that is going to be really hard to come back on for that defense that UCD have.
Yeah, and Slush is really behind his operator. He's going to try to stand the ground, but now the operator has been noticed and certified out. And it's pure aggression on this A side, and it's worked in their favour. Elizabeth the Luck is dead again first, as the rest of UCD are going to try and put some pressure towards B, but there's an outlaw, and here is a dead CMD who Guardian will be picked up by Hefty, who just about survives the outlaw. Sango is going to find Toru as well, but it's not only Hefty, and yeah, there's too much for one man to answer. But as well, I just want to say, you may have noticed, but Casper and Slime, enemies today, but they're actual teammates on VCN Esports. I mean, this is a big clash of, maybe not styles, but a clash of friends, shall we say.
Yeah, and I mean, this is just looking so devastating for UCD here. 9-2 lead. This could be really bad if they get into the double digits here for this next half, but UCD really need to start fighting back. And we do have some ults still up here. We have the Showstopper, and this is going to be the big decider here. If UCD lose this last round, it's practically over.
I have the
And look
spike.
at the aggression as well, coming from DCU again on this A side. UCD just can't get control anywhere on the map. They're not being afforded it. Showstopper now used from Casper. He's going to find Toru. The opposing raise is now dead as the shots are a bit whiffy, but CMD will find Casper. Elizabeth's gone down already. It just feels like no matter what happens, that DCU are always in a numbers advantage. And look at this, Slush is making sure that's real. As now, I mean, 10 HP for Slime. The operator shot will miss. And Slime gets another chance at life as the Prowler will be used. Spots out Sludge, but it doesn't spot out Sanglo. This is a big, big problem! And just in the corner is Sanglo. A 10-2 half for DCU. I mean, what a performance, but how are UCD supposed to come back from this?
I mean, UCD are just looking like lambs to the slaughter at this point, honestly. Every round that they have looked to put their foot on the pedal, it has just been completely shut down. In that last round, like, this aggression that's coming in from DCU is just looking so good. It's looking like they know what to do, they know where the Elizabeth lurks are, and they know what sites are going to be hit, so DCU clearly know what they're doing here. And if you're UCD, the alarm bells are ringing. You need to start fighting back, and you need to start fighting back now, because you don't want to go into the next map having lost a map to in this fashion. It's just devastating for the mental. But if anyone can do it, it could be UCD. They can manage that mental reset and come back into this game. I believe it.
Yeah, you can tell this is DCU's map pick, can't you? They look just so good, and UCD just looks so rough as Elizabeth will be taking a bit of damage to Casper's raised nade. As I mean, this looks like it's going to be a straight up C hit, but actually, DCU have kept Slush and Sanglo towards this A site, and a lot of pressure being faked towards C, and now they're leaving and starting to walk up A. This is dangerous if you are Slime and Toru. I mean, this is really worrying as the door gets opened. There's a lot of pressure coming in from doors. Boombot isn't going to do too much. Now you're just hoping the raised name is actually going to mess up Certified Turtle. Slime finds two, but Casper and Drill, I mean, they just find two brothers in arms near enough. As now DCU have set up for this post plant, and they do have Sango playing in a main as Hefty and CMD and Elizabeth are now entering the site. And CMD might just try and stick this, but no. CMD's going to go forward as Drill's holding that C is ready. Or he's holding the eye, sorry, as Sangler finds Elizabeth. Casper finds CMD, and now it's just Hefty trying to do everything. And the right clicks aren't going to be there. A 3k for Casper, and DCU so close to taking map 1.
I mean, this is worst case scenario if you're UCD here. The pistol round is taken, and it's 11-2. 2 maps off of map points with only 2 rounds on the board. Confidence must be at an all-time low, and we're looking at a force from both teams here. This is the make or break round. This is the decider. Next round won't matter if UCD don't manage to get a foot in the door here. So this is really looking good for DCU. The nice little 5-man hit on A, and it works perfectly. They catch those 2 defenders off guard, manage to get a 3 against 3 round, and they just win the round off of it.
Yeah, somehow it's really surprised me how everyone on DCU is doing so well, and you just look at Drill, who's going 6 and 5 right now. It does surprise me, but CMD is going to buy this Marshall, but he's going to lose that to Sanglo with a ghost. He does find one. He's going to try and find some more, but DCU just look like they're shooting so much better. Elizabeth will pick up the stinger and does take down Sanglo. This is still doable, especially when Slime is in this smoke, trying to find it, and has the element of surprise against Certified Turtle. The shots are whiffy from both Drill and Slime, and Drill was just about getting it, but now it's a 1 versus 2 for Drill. And I gave you a bit of slander towards the start of the round. What can you do now, Drill? Can you be the one to take DCU to map point? And it's an attempt as Toru goes down to 5 HP. I mean 8 with the regen shield, but finally DCU break the curse and get a third UCD get a 3rd round and break the curse.
I mean, it's still looking very bad. They are in a 8-round deficit here, so this is probably still a really bad scenario for them, but getting that 1st round is definitely going to start the confidence boost, and they do get a anti-eco round against DCU here, so if there's a round to win, it is really that one, and now they can start working towards the goal of at least equalizing in rounds here. So very nicely played from UCD, a nice little retake, and Elizabeth was really good on catching that lurk, and we're seeing an outlaw on the side of UCD this time.
Yeah, I mean, this makes me scared a bit because I feel like if there's the only round that DCU will win, it'll be this one. To get themselves to map point, CMD, a hair, it's all that's left between him and an early grave as Casper now tries to swing him, but CMD still has that outlaw and cannot be thrown off that line with that ease as Slime. The Odin ringing out, not going to do any damage as DCU are going to leave A and head towards B. I think it's going to be a B split. I mean, Slash is 8 HP. There's nothing that he can really do in this situation. And with Casper down as well, entering this site is going to be so difficult. But look at Toru. Look at Toru just sat there. Doesn't realise that Certified Turtle's on the other side of that door. It feels like one of those rom-coms where it's like 2 lovers are like on the other side of the door and they won't meet for like 15 years and then they'll, I don't know, I don't watch rom-coms. Why would I? I'm a VALORANT caster.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, Sanglo is going to break some of the Killjoy util on scene. It's just going to raise some eyebrows. It's going to raise more than eyebrows. It's actually going to pull some rotations away from A and B. But they're still hovering in that area. 30 seconds to go.
Left.
And DCU have really slowed down this play as Sanglo and Elizabeth, the 2 Killjoys, taking a fight and not really any winner in either. Slush going to go forward and takes down Toru, and this is where the nerves start to come in. The eye isn't good, but it doesn't matter. Slush AHP will throw the stinger to Drill. And now they're going to play this post plant as Hefty spams through the smoke, finds Slush with 1 bullet. Drill finds Elizabeth now and has the rifle ready and will hit all 3 members of UCD and Certified Turtle on the flank. They have no idea. And Certified Turtle with 3. And it puts DCU to map point. What a play.
I mean, that was just beautifully played by DCU. Such a nice slow round coming in from them. Nice poking and prodding. Slushes walks into B, gets that kill onto Toru, and that just opens the entire round for them. Beautiful ult from Drill, and I mean, it was just a perfect setup from them. And now it's looking so over for UCD. Match point. They don't even have a proper buy. 2 stingers on the board and a sheriff, and DCU are just full confidence here. They have an outlaw, they have an Odin, they have an operator. What could go wrong for them in this situation?
CMD only has a sheriff, but that's all they need. Sanglo takes down Elizabeth. An awful, awful first 10 seconds, and this is just going to be aggression. We'll recover the Phantom And now, I mean, UCD, they're running out of ideas. They're running out of hope for Lotus. This looks like it's just going to have to be moving on to the next map. But Slush does find Slime through the smoke. I mean, yeah, this is just going from bad to worse. Casper, Showstopper, not going to find anything. There will be one more in Waterfall. It's hefty, but Sanglo has this operator. And it's ringing out large. Won't get the kill on CMD, but it's CMD and Toe to try and save Lotus. We'll pick up the Stinger CMD, but so many players to deal with, and won't get to deal with any of them. Toe, you need 4 here to save the map. Still has full util, but it's going to be a double swing, but it doesn't even matter. Slush is going to be the one to take down Toe, and a dominant Lotus puts DCU ahead at the LAN final.
I mean, just a really strong showing from DCU. It looked like a repeat from the last grand finals of that Lotus map. But I wouldn't count UCD out yet. I think they still have some in them, and next map, they really will show their mettle.
Well, hopefully so. Hopefully these guys can get their Red Bulls in as we go to a short break between maps, just to let the players rest, and also our voices, because we can't do our job, you know, without voices. But we will be going to a quick break, so make sure to grab some Red Bull, visit some of the other stalls if you're here at GamerFest, but if not, or if you're watching this live on Twitch, then be sure to grab some food, grab some snacks, because I have a feeling this series has a chance to go all the way.
Well, hello, GamerFest. We will be back in a couple more minutes with our map 2 of the VALORANT Ireland Esports Collegiate Series finals. It'll be a map of Haven to see between UCD and DCU. Will it be a 2-0 or will we go to the map 3 decider? So don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Ireland Esports Collegiate Series VALORANT here at GamerFest on the Red Bull live stage. And if you missed map 1, where you miss an absolute pounding that DCU just gave to UCD.
I mean, it didn't look close at basically any moment. DCU just looked so much better prepared on Lotus, and it's what you'd expect since it's their map pick, but I don't know, UCD looked very unprepared. They looked like they weren't ready for the aggression that DCU was offering on the mound and just all over the map, so I'm hoping that UCD are putting in a better showing, especially since Haven is their map pick.
Yeah, really rough one to start for UCD, and as well you're going to have the mentals to talk about. You're going to have the actual fundamentals of the match to talk about, and that's a lot to get into a 5-10 minute break to try and save the IECS LAN National Finals. But now we will go to Haven, where DCU are fighting for a 2-0. UCD are fighting to stay alive here at GamerFest.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to point this out. I always point this out, but a very common theme with the VALORANT IECS is that whoever attacks first loses the whole game. And I just want to point it out. UCD are attacking first on all of the maps. So if they're just going to stick to themes, then this is not looking good for UCD. But with the character picks already, we have a very, well, not a strange one, but something a bit out of the ordinary here, which is the Phoenix coming in from Casper and Toru. So we're seeing a Phoenix comp from both teams here. Other than that, fairly standard. We do have a Sova coming in for the UCD side. nothing really out of the ordinary so far. The entire team has picked already for UCD, and it's a standard comp other than that Phoenix. Now we're just waiting for the DCU players here, which we might get to see a Neon from the hover here, which would be an interesting duelist line.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I mean, Slush had a phenomenal map 1, was a key reason as to why DCU pushed so far, 113-3 on Lotus, but we'll just be returning to that Jet as we head into Haven. Slush, the one to watch in this map, the one who has been dominant for DCU, hasn't really been showing this level of performance in regular play, but at LAN, this is a lock-in of a different level.
And I mean, like, one thing that we do need to point out again is that both teams are picking the same comp on both these maps. So it really is just up to their individual play and their team play here. They can't talk about the comps. The comps are completely level playing field. And this is really just on the players and showing off what they can actually display here. So once again, we're just going to be looking at Slush, I think we've already mentioned, and CMD, if CMD can come back into this game, because although he did have his moments, he wasn't as alive as the duelists for DCU were. So we'll be interested to see that. And if we're looking at how UCD are looking in the start of this round, it seems like it's going to be maybe a little bit of a default here. And oh no, we seem to be going into another technical tech pause here. So that is not the best start to the map, but it is fine. It will probably be solved soon, hopefully.
Yeah, I think it's only a little issue involving game audio, so hopefully it will not be anywhere near as long as that first tech pause we had earlier. But you wanted to mention as well, we're talking in the sort of in the pre-game beforehand, about how that last finals went for summer, and how, I mean, it's these two teams again, but it was DCU, I don't want to say dominating UCD, maybe you will, maybe, I don't know, but
yeah, I mean, DCU, especially the first map was fairly competitive, but when it came to Lotus, it was almost exactly what we saw today. I think that UCD did manage to get a few more rounds, but DCU were pretty much in control of that whole series. So if we don't really want to see that, I want to see some life from UCD, especially because we know that they have the potential for it.
Yeah, and here we go. Big mid-ball to start. CMD again with a bit of damage and taking some as well. And this is just going to be this fast garage split to see. And there's going to be a lot of pressure on Sango, who's just playing his corner, but hasn't been checked by CMD. This is dangerous. And this is only one for Sango. Solidified Turtle gets one as well. Toe trades out, but still a player disadvantage for UCD. And it's not something you really want to be going into this round for. It's all three players pushing into carriage. This is huge, and Slush is just going to farm Slime 28 HP in a 1 versus 3, and only has the Classic, has the option of the Ghost next to him, but decides to stay with the Classic as it will be Drill with the Bandit through the wall, taking down Slime, and UCD already taking a lead on Haven.
I mean, DCU are so good at just planting their players in an angle and holding that down. Every angle that UCD has to clear, they need to fight and lose a player to 2 players for it. They are just doing so well, this DCU team, on their defensive side, and it really is playing into their strengths. And on each and every one of these maps, they are starting on defense. Now, if we're looking at the buys, obviously, UCD here are going to have to save here. This is going to be an anti-eco for DCU, and we're seeing an Outlaw out on the side of DCU from Slush here, which is something that UCD were struggling against in droves that last map. So it'll be interesting to see if they can make something of this eco round, or if UCD is going to start setting the pace for another stomping, or getting stomped on anyway.
Well, yeah.
Spike down mid.
DCU looking to try and stomp again. Slush with that early kill. Takes down 2. Casper finds 2 with the Marshall.
Spike down
And within a
mid.
few seconds, this round's pretty much done. So Elizabeth now on her lonesome, trying to find anything. Instead, it's going to be a flawless for UCD. A very standard occasion for an anti-eco, but still, it's starting to creep in the worry.
I mean, it's not really in a very inspiring round coming in there from the eco. Just let's walk B and hope for the best. It's definitely not going to work against a team that you know runs Outlaws. So not the best. And if we're looking at the buy once again, this bonus is so strong. They have a gun on each and every player. They have that Guardian, they have the Outlaw. They do have a Marshal, which is not as strong, but this is looking very nice for DCU. Ults are already starting to build up, and UCD really probably start stressing here. I know it is only round 2, but it's looking like a repeat.
And UCD are really trying to set a high tempo so far this map. I've gone with a lot of fast hits, fast garage hit, fast B hit, trying to maybe stifle DCU, and it's worked for one for TMD, but won't work for a second, as Toru's also going to take a lot of damage as the opening of Slime now rings out. Plant is coming down, maybe a tap though, Toru's all blinded, and Casper with the Marshall takes him down, as now it's just kills coming everywhere. Hefty finds one, but still a player disadvantage. It is only for a short while. Elizabeth trades out, Hefty needs to find his skill and doesn't. But now it's Elizabeth with the Odin, but 31 HP, and Certified Total also 6 not being checked though! And the Ghost rings out, and DCU convert the bonus.
I mean, the alarm bells are ringing. We are only 3 rounds in, but it's looking exactly the same as the last map. That is a bonus conversion for DCU. That is so devastating for UCD, and the mental will definitely take a hit because of that. But if a team needs to start showing their mettle, it needs to be now. We are seeing a hero rifle buy from CMD while the rest of his team is only buying sheriffs. But the eco is looking so strong for DCU, and they are really setting themselves up for the long term of this half.
Yeah, CMD is actually going to sell that Vandal, and that's a player that we've been expecting a lot more from so far. But a crucial player for UCD, but instead showing that maybe replaceable now. It's harsh for me to say replaceable. CMD will be the first death though. Gets a bit of damage on the slash, but the 3 stack towards B has worked in DCU's favour. That is until Slime takes off the head of Certified Tell, and now it's. Well, the numbers worry. Cool Drill has the Odin and will spam down Elizabeth. Sanglo finds Doro in a few seconds. This round has gone from looking equal to looking undoable. Marshall rings out. The shot will miss. And Drill is an easy cleanup for DCU, only losing 1 member there. I mean, 4-0 lead. What are you looking for from UCD?
I don't know, honestly. Their pushes are just not looking that inspired at all. They are just going for very headstrong. Let's hit this site and see what happens. And with Haven, a map that is so open and you have so many possibilities, you really want to see a bit more thinking coming in on these rounds. So maybe UCD were saving their strats a bit. This is their map pick, but we need to see something different, because this is exactly what they were doing on Lotus and it wasn't working out for them. So both teams having a buy round here. CMD only player with a bit of a weak gun because he forced last. Surely a bit of fight, a bit of metal coming in for UCD here.
UCD need to show something off in this round, otherwise, I mean, it's getting pretty difficult to try and favour them here. As Slime and Certified Turtle Slime will go down, Certified Turtle get another spam for the spray. Within seconds, UCD are down 2 players, and now it's just Hefty, Elizabeth, and Toru that have to pick up whatever scraps they can. From DCU, sorry, but DCU just not going to give anything away, and Hefty's even going to take more spam damage. 35 HP for the Omen, and now, I mean, what do you do if you're UCD here?
I mean, you have to find an entry somewhere. This is looking really difficult. They're cut off from almost the entire map. That B is held for DCU with the alarm bot. They have the Sova anchoring on A and 4 players towards C. There's no entry here. And if they really do commit to the C hit, which it looks like the Phoenix might, it's not going to work out for UCD at all. This is a really nice defense setup for DCU for a round that is practically almost guaranteed for them at this point.
Yeah, Sash is just going to get a few more shots onto Elizabeth there, maybe find a kill, but it's actually going to be Casper blinding himself up. But Sash finds 2, Certified Turtle gets the last. 5-0 lead for DCU. I mean, all the DCU heads in the crowd and watching on the stream, they're going absolutely ballistic. But if you're a UCD head, not so much, as it is going to be the first timeout of the series called from UCD.
I mean, this is what's needed. If you are UCD, you are stressing right now. You don't want a repeat of last map. That 10-2 half is devastating. You need some rounds here, especially on Haven, an attack-sided map. And to do that, you need a mental reset. If you do not get a mental reset from this timeout, then it's just not going to work out for you. Now, if we're talking about what's happening on the economy, like, this isn't looking the best for UCD, but there's definitely some ways to get back into this. I mean, you need a mental reset of your UCD. That is the main thing.
Yeah, I mean, UCD, a team that has been so frag heavy over the course of this year, has got some phenomenal fraggers and are able to end maps with nearly 30 kills. They have been silenced so far, and DCU, a more rigorous team, a more strategized team, but I mean, they are doing their bit, and a 5-0 lead now for DCU. I mean, this is less about tactics and more about who's shooting and who isn't shooting, and I think it's fairly obvious to say that it's DCU, the ones that are shooting. Slush 8-2 again. Phenomenal performance on the Jet across both maps. And looking to try and keep that up with this operator, as the economy of DCU could probably rival that of a small to medium-sized country. And look at this, it's going to be a rush again on to C. Sanglo's not been checked again. This has just been poor. Sanglo, second time he's been unchecked, and second time he's multi-fragged from a corner. Hefty tries the spam with the Spectre, but it's not going to find these squits. Slime and Elizabeth are going to get a few kills, and now the numbers are equal, and there's a few weapons for UCD to grab a hold of, although not massive ones, but upgrades are upgrades. As the spike goes down, they have this lockdown available as well from Elizabeth, but the Blaze Storm is going to be popped from Slush now, and a round where DCU have to retake, and it will be Casper popping the runner back as well, and finding that first kill to Hefty. A swing that goes a miss, but I will clear out the rest of sight. DCU. There's now Slush is just going to wait and play it as the Guardian. Be careful of that garage push. Casper's just going to sit and defuse. Slime goes down, and it's only Elizabeth gets the spam through, but the spike is already halved. Slush with the Blaze Storm finds Elizabeth, and a closer round from UCD, but still not enough.
I mean, the non-corner clear from UCD is definitely not something you want to see coming in after a tactical timeout, but it's something that sometimes you just can't account for. It was a nice bait with that alarm bot, so it was really well played from Sanglo, and UCD did manage to get a little bit of a fight in there, but not the worst case scenario. This is probably the round where their strats come in a little more, since that last round was more of a save here. So if you're UCD, you have 4 ults active, you have another one coming up as well with that CMD Blade Storm, and you have your guns. This is a round where you need to put your foot down, you need to make a stand, because if not, this map is going to run away from you.
Yeah, it's already beginning to run away as the operator now sounded out. CMD's going to fight 1 and 2 whilst blinded. Slush takes down CMD though, but it's a good start. It's Hunter's Fury now used from Slime to try and access the C site and gets rid of Sanglo. And CMD's already made the quick rotation, but the 4 versus 2 here on site, and Slush has been found out as this operator. It only takes a little bit of damage though. Toru is just going to throw that molly. Keep DCU away from the site as it's a free plant essentially. Now the question is, what do you do if you're UCD? I mean, I think you have more than enough ready to go for it, but Hefty, the low timing's brilliant. Panaway as well gets Slush, and Slush is going to run around with his pistol out. And not a flawless round, but a much needed round from UCD.
I mean, the first round on the board for them in this map, so that's definitely a start on what could be a snowball into getting back into this game, but not really the biggest loss for DCU. They aren't that worried. They didn't really use any ults there, and they did manage to get the Hunter Storm out from UCD, but still, UCD are looking good on this ultimate economy here that they have. They still have 4 ults that they could use to break into any site they want, and it really is just the case of, are they there? Do they have the mental to continue going? And can they mount this comeback?
Yeah, and something else you may have seen there. I mean, 6 deaths for Toru, 7 for CMD. I mean, both duelists of UCD have really not been performing in this LAN final. Pressure is what makes diamonds, and instead they're so far making fools of themselves, but it could all be changed here as CMD has the Blaze Storm, but Elizabeth is the one to go down first. Slush with that operator as a free kill. As Reals, I mean, he's put under a bit of pressure, but the right click from CMD just misses completely. And now CMD only has the ghost. We'll pick up the Vandal, and the defensive lockdown is now used by Sanglo to create some space on the site. Run it back now used from Toru. This is higgledy-piggledy as Hefty's TP far away, but won't get the kill. Slush finds CMD, and Toru will bait the run it back. What? What on earth was that, Toru? Slime has the Odin. It's going to get cut up by Sanglo, but I mean, what a misplay from Toru.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he was trying to catch the timing of being detained and then getting out of the detain, but really didn't work out for him at all. He just gave a little kiss to Sanglo there as he walked by, and I didn't manage to point it out the last round, but very well played from DCU. They played full retake because they knew that the Hunters Rain was actually gone. So they could just get into the site with that Killjoy lockdown. And 3 ults used by UCD. That is almost the worst case scenario for them. They used so many ults there and they still managed to lose the round. So not a very good look for UCD. They still have the money for a buy here, but the round after that will be a bit more scuffed on what they can buy here. And DCU, really nice retake. Very methodical. They clearly have a game plan coming into each round here. So just another brilliant defense.
Yeah, just as we were speculating that this could become a snowball, instead it's a snowball that's hit the face of UCD. Slush finds one, taken down by Elizabeth though. The operator is now out of sight. It's a big positive for UCD, but they have to make something out of it, as now DCU just going to stay stationary, but they've actually left this B site open with Sanglo's alarm bot, which is now broken. So there's absolutely no info on this B, and it looks like UCD are just going to push towards B, but the problem is DCU have set themselves up really nicely here. A 3-person flank from CNA. I don't know if UCD are going to expect this, and especially considering you have Toru and Garage as well. Elizabeth doesn't check the flank. I mean, how could you expect that? Sanglo, the light timings have been fantastic so far this game, and it's so much fear that there could be someone at the corner. This time checking it, but now Casper has the brains to try and make this play, and CMD's just stuck and blinded back sight. Hefty finds one, but it's not going to make a difference. Hefty needs to find so much more, and will find nothing else for his troubles as DCU take an 8th round, and all of a sudden, I mean, it feels like they have got one hand on that winner's trophy.
This is looking very rough for UCD. They are slowly, well, not really slowly, they're quickly losing grasp of this game. A 7-round deficit for them and an 8-1 lead for DCU. This is looking really nicely played from them. Their retakes just look so nice. They have everywhere on the map that they want, and they play the angles that they have perfectly. I mean, if you're UCD, you are just grasping at straws here. This is a forced buy for them coming in. They have 3 light armors, the Guardian, and someone without armor at all. So this is pretty much the dregs here. You don't really have anything if you're UCD.
Yeah, nothing at all, and UCD are going to need a Herculean effort to try and get anything from this now. To try and keep themselves alive for map 3 of Pearl. And CMD won't get that shot to drill. Find a bit of damage, but nothing of sustenances. Now UCD just need to find something, and you know, you were talking about the flaws, but even the most obvious flaw is that they're not shooting. And DCU are, is this lockdown now invested on A, trying to clear the site. CMD's burnt down to 1 HP. Drill finds Hefty, but traded out by Elizabeth, and 2 players are actually going to get detained by that lockdown, but they are in safe position, so not going to be able to find anything. Oh, these safe until Slime is on the flank. Finds 2, make it a 3rd. They will do. And UCD, much needed. I mean, it was something out of nothing, but what a flank that was from Slime.
I mean, very well played. He went instantly off that timing of the 2 players being detained. Knew that one of them was probably towards that A link. So very nicely played by Slime, and that lockdown as well. Very nice. But now we're looking into it. It's still not looking very good. 8-2 And although UCD did get that last round, their economy isn't. The economy of DCU isn't looking that rough. So there's still a lot of options here for DCU. And even if they lose these next 2 rounds, they're still in a firm lead.
Yeah, and I mean, the problem is, Slush could just replay this operator for days. There's so much money on the DCU side. I think it's probably more money in DCU side now than the actual university has spent on, you know, all the esports equipment that they've got. And I know they spent a lot on all the esports equipment that they've got there, thanks to the IECS, but now UCD just need to find something again. Slime is going to force Slush away for now and might actually embed themselves into the cubby, but choosing not to. And now UCD have slowed this game right down from playing rushes and quick onto sites. Now just slowing it down, trying to play defaults, but it's actually going to be a grouping towards A. But this time, I mean, we can look at some of these players drill. I mean, there's 3 players on site. It's going to be a hell of a battle to try and get something. Slime does get one, but Casper in the corner isn't checked for again. We'll pop the running back, but this time Slime is good on it. CMD now finding 2 as well.
30 seconds left.
And it's only Slush with his operator in the post plan. I mean, if you need a miracle, this is the guy to ask, but even this might be out of his range as the AHP, and it's just going to run away with this operator. Maybe try and find some shelter elsewhere. You're looking for perhaps an exit kill, but instead it's going to be CMD with 3, and it looks like CMD's finally starting to heat up.
I mean, he has
Last
been trying
round
his best
before
in
the
these last
switch.
rounds. He is that entry fragger, and it's been working some of these times, but it looks like he's finally found a bit of footing in these last few rounds. Now, if you're UCD, you really want this last round. Put it to an 8-4 half, only a bit of a 4-round deficit, which is still good. Like, they have the same amount of rounds this half that they did last map entirely. So UCD are definitely starting to wake up, and DCU losing a bit of footing here because they aren't looking as strong as they were before. Will be a Jet Knives pop instantly because he couldn't afford a gun, and some ults on the board for both teams as well.
Yeah, you got to remember as well, this is UCD's map pick as well. On Lotus, sure, if you get battered on Lotus, then when it's your opponent's map pick, then sure, you can maybe not overlook it in the way that it was, but there's certainly no more pressure us than normal. But Slime is going to open this fight up by a kill to Sango with the Hunter's Fury. Slash is just going to rush down A, and there's no presence to stop him doing so. Elizabeth will be the first casualty of the Blaze Storm. CMD's just walked out to B as well, and he's just going to get punished for even thinking of doing that
One
by drill.
enemy remaining.
And
Spike
UCD,
down,
one
B.
by one, they fall, and it's only Hefty again. The last player in so many of these situations needs a 1 versus 4, and is now blinded up, nearsighted, and Certified Tell gives DCU a 9-3 lead at the half.
Switching
I
sides.
mean, those signs of life that UCD were showing towards the end of the half slowly gave out there because, I mean, that was just a rough round for them, honestly. They got a really nice kill with that Sova ult, and they weren't able to follow up on it at all. Slush just walking down A, given so much space to work with, and working the map with 2 kills as well. That's massive from him. Just the usual from him, it seems. And now, going into this 9-3 half. Maybe UCD can pray for a bit of a 9-3 curse here, but it's not looking good for them at all, considering this is their map pick. So, I mean, I'm interested to see how UCD can play this defense, and if DCU are able to break through it in a very clean manner, or if it could go back towards UCD.
Yeah, I think UCD need a lot more than a miracle at this point. They need... I don't even know what they need. An exorcism, maybe? I'm not too sure, but it's going to be tempo upped by DCU as Slush finds kill until Elizabeth Sentinel was down. Casper's just going to burn Toru on his trades coming out, but still DCU coming out with a player advantage. That means Sanglo is just going to walk down slowly, finds kill on CMD on the timing, and now it's just Slime. I mean, there's so much that Slime could do. Has been a great player for UCD, but even he is overwhelmed with 1 versus 3.
I mean, something that I will point out is that is 4 out of 4 pistol rounds that DCU have won. I mean, like, you can't name a more dominant way to show off that you're a better team, at least in this finals. So, like, 4 out of 4 is devastating. That's a guaranteed 8 rounds practically for this DCU in the 2 maps that have been played here. So if you're UCD, that's definitely something you should look at a little more. And a very nice pistol round for them. It's just looking so clean all over the board.
Yeah, and this round already feels like a throwaway with UCD coming in to this with worse weapons than DCU. The gamble stack anywhere in particular. CMD's going to try and take an early fight against Casper, but loses out, and now, I mean, you've got not much really you can do if you're UCD. Maybe try and take this gun off of Sanglo. Upgrade from Classic to a Ghost, but against the Bulldog, it's not going to do too much. Sanglo takes a bit of damage, but will escape, or actually just repeats and kills Elizabeth. Of course, kills Toru as well, because why not? Slime gets that kill eventually, but it's long and laboured, and now Slime's just baiting for Hefty. Whiffed a little bit, but Slime gets the kill anyway, and now it's a Guardian in the hands of UCD, and, you know, this could become a bit scarier for DCU here, but Slush is holding down CT with an outlaw, finds one, can't find the second just yet, and Hefty's actually going to be the one to take down Slush. Now this is starting to be a bit of a worry, but Casper's there to hold the ship safe. 11-3 will be the score for DCU, and 2 more rounds are needed for their hands on the trophy.
I mean, if you're UCD, it's not really good that they're approaching that match point, but at the very least, you did damage their economy a little bit for this bonus. So 2 people alive, they only managed to save that Outlaw and the Guardian. So some guns lost for that DCU side, but look at this buy. They have forced an operator. They have 2 rifles as well. Like, this is pretty much as good as it gets for a bonus, even better than that, actually, because they forced a little bit into it. So this is looking nice for DCU now, and UCD are really going to have to start putting the pedal to the metal.
Yeah, I mean, this is the round where you need to do it as well, the first rifle round. I mean, you lose this, if UCD can't stop DCU converting the bonus, I mean, this game is pretty much done. We can wrap it up. And it's arguably the most important round that UCD have played, so how will they deal with this pressure as Hefty holds the Guardian? Now it's just going to wait. Tempo slowed down again, but Sanglo has his operator again, and we've seen Sanglo with his operator how good he can be and how ahead he can put DCU, but there's going to be the question of can he find the timing on to B. So heavy effect towards C, bringing players towards Sanglo, and the operator finds Hefty. A bad start for UCD. The smokes have gone down already. There's little to no opposition if DCU want to enter a site, and that is what's going to happen. Casper going to take a lot of damage from the Guardian. CNT's going to go for the repeat, not going to find anything. Ben Celefied Turtle is going to be able to take down CNT. This goes from bad to worse as Sanglo's operator rings out again. Toru's on a bad haven, and it's just gone from bad to worse. Slime does find Sanglo. Your operator's down, but still 4 players to deal with. Slime has to be the one to start something. Instead, it's Drill with his outlaw. Finds one, making a second. And now match point, series point, and the national finals for DCU.
I mean, this is just looking like a battering. Not even looking, it is a battering. This is looking very rough, just all around for the mental of the UCD players. And I don't think that they'll be able to reset in the time that is needed to get back into this game. A 12-3 game is just, it's so difficult to get back into. And with the amount of money that they have for this buy, it just looks like it's almost impossible. 2 Bulldogs, or never mind, a Judge, a Bulldog, a Guardian. These guns are horrible. No ults on the board. And it's just too little, too late. It doesn't look like it's something that they might be able to get through.
Yeah, well, it's an A start. CNT finds 1, but Celefied Turtle with 2. Dragon DCU across the line here. And with only 21 HP, though, still could be traded out by one of the other members of DCU, but it's actually going to be a third for Certified Turtle. Casper finds FD as well. It's all on Slime the IGL with this operator. So much to do, but with the spike planted, the time is running out. Drill not looking the right way. Will get caught out by the timing of Slime. But now Slime, I mean, Slush is going for a knife. This is just BM at this point. Slime gets Slush, but Hunter's Fury now ready for Slime. But still has no idea where Casper is. How poetic. The 2 teammates on VCN to come against one another. Picked up the Bulldog, and it doesn't matter. It's Casper to confirm the win for DCU. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Became the bride in the spring series, and now has become the champion at the national LAN.
I mean, it just didn't look like a close game at all. Both games 13-3, complete domination all the way through from DCU, and it was looking like it was just impossible for UCD to break into that game at all. Such good plays from individually from Slush just the entire time throughout those 2 maps. He was playing outstanding. But if we're going to talk about DCU, then we really do need to talk about that their tactical play is just amazing. I think that's one of the strong suits of DCU. Of course, they're playing well individually, but they seem like they had a read on every situation, whether it be on attack or defense, and they just played the whole rounds out perfectly always.
Yeah, indeed. And I think if you're going to give an MVP award out, I think there's only one player it can be. And you mentioned his name, it's Slush. Absolute domination like we've never seen before in the Island Esports Collegiate series. And to do it at a LAN as well, I mean, there is a lot of heads now turning for a player like Slush, who, like I mentioned before, hasn't been as high fire in our regular games, but at LAN, a diamond has been revealed in DCU's ranks, and it's one that has taken them to not only putting a hand on the championship, but giving them the whole damn thing.
I mean, it just looked like he's a LAN demon. I don't think there's any other way to say it. He was looking amazing the entire time. He would find 2 kills out of nowhere. He pretty much won them that Lotus defense half. I mean, every time that he was somewhere, UCD were unable to break through that side of the map. So he denied them half of the map the entire way through. So really well played from Slush. But as a whole, DCU, all of them were consistently playing amazingly. Like, I think that whoever it was that was even in a clutch situation, or if they were holding an angle, you knew that they were at least good for one just because of how well they were playing individually.
Yes, and I mean, what a way to confirm a title, a domination. You know, there's one way to go to a map 3. There's one way to beat them in 2 close maps, but to do it in total, I believe it's 26-6 across the 2 maps. I mean, domination on another level that I don't even think we've seen in the Esports Collegiate series this season. So congratulations to DCU. One hand on the trophy. Make them both now, but we will be throwing it back to stage and back to Kurt with an interview.
Hello, everyone. We have just seen DCU win it out here. We have Slush, and over on UCD, we do have CMD. To start us off, commiserations. I know it was a tough game. Both maps did not go the way you wanted to, I imagine, at all. In terms of that, you know, how was the feeling in the comms? You know, was it tough to see, you know, how tough the game was? Or how were you trying to keep your spirits up? I know you obviously have your coach Jack behind you. So, you know, how was it feeling in the server?
Yeah, I mean, I think we kept it all positive. It was a fine game. They've improved a lot over the semester and season, so fair play to them. They played a good game.
Yeah, no, and once again, you know, you've been in a finals, you've been through collegiate a lot, you've seen so many wins, so many losses, so, you know, it's tough, but I assume you're going to take it as best you can, and the guys as well, do what you can.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind too much. You win some and you lose some, like, so... I mean, I've got my wins, and it's good for people to get their wins, and they definitely deserved it. They improved a lot over the semester from what I could see, and yeah.
No, perfect. But, you know, once again, commiserations. But on the other side, Slush, it was a good day, to say the least, in the server. You know, you had some fantastic games. It just felt like you guys were unstoppable on the server throughout. Yeah, get the hype from the crowd. It is a fantastic win to be able to take this here at the Ireland Esports Collegiate Series National Finals VALORANT. You know, did you expect it to be like this? Did you expect it to be, such a dominant affair, or were you expecting a bit more of a closer game on your hands?
No, I mean, me and the boys, everyone came here with the vibes. We came out good hand-ons today. No stress at all. UCD, big ups to UCD. They've been competing with us, the only competition really the past 2 semesters. We faced them in the first final, second final, and now there's obviously the grand final. So, of course, didn't really expect us to play like this, but I think it's not really to do with UCD. I think all the boys here today just showed up today, played their game, no stress, no nerves, and just, delivered a good performance.
For sure. Fantastic, you know, from everyone. You know, even in the second game, you were absolutely bombing it out on top of the server, and it was just a great display here. Is there anything, you know, do you think, you know, you obviously you were having a fantastic game. Do you think there was also, you know, you've played these guys enough times. I think both sides, I feel like you both know your play styles, you know how you run. Do you think that kind of like rivalry being set up has impacted how you prepped, how you planned, and how you kind of thought forward going into this game?
Yeah, no, for sure. As I said, like, we've played them in the last 2 finals. First one, they edged it against us. Second one, it was also a close game. And we just kind of looked over the VODs, the games, how we played against them, adapted to our game style. I think the lads were very good at listening today as well. It was anything I said, everybody listened. We adapted well. And yeah, I mean, it also helps that Casper over here, he plays for VCN. The other teammate of VCN is on the other team. So shout out VCN. Shout out HLT, shout out Drill, shout out Ethan, shout out Jay, shout out everyone. And yeah.
Perfect. But congratulations once again. We're gonna have them present them to your trophy here, your victory here from some of our representatives from Red Bull. Yeah, you probably head back if you'd like. I don't know if you want to. Yeah, and we'll get a photo of everyone with their bits. Perfect. And once again, congratulations to the side of DCU winning it out on the Red Bull Live stage. Great play from them. I do think we will have a quick break between the games, but next game we will be running into some League of Legends, which once again will be UCD versus DCU. We'll swap out the casters, we'll figure it out. But before then, we're going to be running, I think, to a break between, we'll be having a cosplay paneling competition running here at GamerFest. So that'll be on, I think, in maybe an hour and a half, I think is our plan. So we'll get to you then. Woo!
It's not angry, it's not proud. It's not here to please the crowd. It's that quiet voice you knew, speaking softly inside of you. Hey, 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 that's love, that's love. Love is joyous and love is bright. Love will help you see the light. Love is hope, love is whole. Love sounds like rock and roll. Love is gentle